So think about a child. So a child is crying. You can't figure out why a child is crying. You go to pick up the child. You're not shaking the child like, why are you crying? You're like, oh my gosh, you're talking to it. You're caressing the child. Are they hungry? Or do we have to change them? You're doing whatever you can to try to get this child to calm down, to find joy and peace in this child. That's the same thing with our body, guys. When we have pains in our body, that's our brain that's sending a signal to say, hey, something's going on. Or situation, and stroke survivors, you're on here. We have situation that our body part, we had that hemiplegia or the paralyzation on the one side. Your hand may still be fisted here. That right there, your brain is saying, hey, something's going on that's not opening. So instead of us yanking the fingers and being mad that it doesn't open, hey, let's talk to it. Let's caress it. Let's bring blood flow to this finger. When I bring blood flow, I'm opening up and I'm talking to that finger and I'm opening up. And the more I do it, and again, video purpose, open up a lot faster. But the more I talk to it, now I'm relaxing my mind, I'm relaxing my body. I'm sending positive signals to my brain to say, you know what, we can work on this. So this hand is a child that we're talking to. This hand is, okay, I understand. And the frustration comes in, hey, why the hand is, child, why are you still crying? The hand is also, we can turn that around and say, why are you not opening up? We got to work on it. Understand, I'm relaxed now. Take my time. Do the same thing. Yes, thank you. Star Love said definitely works. Again, our hand or this body part that we're trying to get to work, it's the child, it's the baby. So we're going to have self-compassion with it. We're going to have self-compassion with ourselves, understanding that, yes, we want to get to a certain level, but it's going to take time. So yeah, we're not where we want to be yet. But as long as we keep working and keep pushing, we're going to, slow progress is better than no progress. We're going to get there. So let's look at those fingers. So we'll take time and do that with the fingers. So say, for instance, if you get your fingers to a position like this, you say, well, only a couple fingers. And I'm trying to close my fist purposely to give you an example of how we're working. Say, for instance, if I did my fingers like this and I got them loose enough that I got the fingers open to this position here, and you say, well, it's still not going to open on its own. You still may have tight and spasticity here. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to take this thumb, and what I'm doing, guys, I'm not yanking it. I'm slowly caressing it, taking it back and forth. And what I'm doing with that is I want to begin to stretch it out. I'm come closer to the camera so you can see. And I'm going to grab, again, I'm using my stronger side. The left side was the side I had the stroke in. I'm grabbing this side. Love you too, T. Grabbing this side. I'm grabbing this finger. And I'm going to maneuver it with this finger right here. And how I'm going to stretch both of these fingers out is like this. So I'm using, guys, I'm using my stronger hand, the side that did not have the stroke on it. So right now, I'm stretching these fingers out. So I'm purposely squeezing these fingers to get them close. So understanding, because I don't want y'all, a lot of people are like, well, your fingers open. Yes, my hand does open, but I'm showing you this what tone and spasticity looks like. So if this tone and spasticity, these fingers are still closed, and how I maneuver to close these fingers together, I'm using this hand and we're going to bring them together like this. So I'm bringing these fingers together. And what I'm doing is, I could just keep doing this, but I want to stretch these fingers out. So as I'm bringing them together, I'm pushing them back open to stretch them out. So understanding you may have some pain here because your fingers have not been open for a while because you're dealing with a lot of tone and spasticity. Then we're going to do it in the camera so you can see. And what I'm doing, literally maneuvering the fingers like this. We're bringing them together. And now I'm tapping the fingers together. So what I'm going to keep doing with this is, right now, this is sending signals to the brain to say, hey, these fingers are supposed to move together. Just like this happens over here. These fingers that you had that stroke and you lost that feeling over there and you were paralyzed in this situation, this is how we get it back moving. This is sending signals to the brain. So understanding, yes, it's going to take you time because this is just one finger. We got to go through all of those fingers. And at the same time, y'all know what they say, you pick up habits with 21. So guess what? When I'm sitting here watching TV or doing whatever, I'm grabbing these fingers. And again, I'm doing this to show y'all the fingers are closed. And what I'm doing is I'm massaging them, bringing blood flow to get them open. And so now I'm controlling this finger here with my stronger hand. And what I want to do is moving those fingers out the way. Now I'm grabbing it and bringing it over here, and we're tapping it to that thumb. So what I'm doing is generally going through each finger and stretching the fingers out, understanding that they may not open on your own. We're going to use this hand and we're opening those fingers and we're getting some mobility to those fingers. And as we can keep doing that, we're going to do that all the way through all of the fingers, guys, all the way around till your fingers begin to loosen up. So this isn't saying that your fingers are going to miraculously say, oh, now we're open. But what we're doing is we're bringing blood flow to the hand. And the more we keep doing that, now we're sending signals to the brain, and the brain is understanding this is how we begin to get that hand open up. So we do this constantly. So again, guys, while you're sitting there talking to people, don't just sit there with the frustration of, hey, my hand is fisted and closed. Or you're talking to somebody, hey, girl, don't pay me no attention. Or boy, don't pay me no attention. I'm going to keep working this hand. I'm going to keep doing this. So if it's one finger at a time, and I'm literally, guys, I don't want you to just keep it curled. I'm stretching it all the way back, because what we're doing is to think about when a person wants to do a split, you got to constantly keep stretching that body, constantly keep stretching those hip AB and adductors to open up. So it's the same thing we're doing with the fingers. We got to constantly keep stretching it to open it up. And that, again, though, sends the signals to the brain to say, hey, we can stretch all the way out. And the more we keep doing that, you'll wake up one day and be like, you know what? I used to have to pull it all the way back. And then you begin to notice that your fingers are loose and loose. And again, repetition is key, guys. It's not one time that we do this. We're doing it multiple times. And I understand the frustrations of why does it seem like strokes of ours, we're always having to work out. But yes, definitely we're always having to work out. Thank you so much, you guys, for the love. But yes, we always have to work out, because guess what? We have a greater cause on our life than the natural person does. So the thing is, yes, we could get those hands open up, and y'all see my hands are open up, but I still have to do these exercises because I still deal with tone and spasticity. So that's something that you may be, somebody asks, well, even when I get them open, do I have to worry about continuing to do these exercises? Guys, yes. Trauma could give you a setback. Pain can give you a setback. Being sick can give you a setback, especially with as stroke survivors, because it's like a setback because your body has not been able to move, or resets, or it causes trauma to that affected side that can easily regress because of that. So it's like the trauma that hits you and makes your body want to go back into that protective mode. So that's why, as stroke survivors, I tell you all the time, this is a lifelong journey. So yes, you'll get the body moving. You start feel better about everything you're doing, but we constantly got to keep working. And then even at the same time, sometimes you may not be thinking about doing an exercise, but because you've done this for so much, and because this became a natural movement that you're talking to people and you're doing these things, you'll be like, I didn't even realize that my hand stays open now, or that it moves and my fingers move separate, all those things, because it becomes a natural reaction, guys. So it's not just, hey, I got to sit this time out. I want you to sit some time out throughout the day to do these exercises, but not even thinking about that. Let's think about ways we can get the body moving and maneuvering to help us heal better without turning to an exercise. We're sitting here having a conversation, guys. Or even I could think, like I started the video and I was sitting up here talking to y'all while I was doing an exercise. So I could have stayed here with my hands fisted like this, or because I'm pressing up against this, that's why I'm doing the exercises. What I would have did was get all those fingers opened up. After you massage those fingers and got them all opened up, I would have had them all opened up, and I would have forced them to stay down on the table. And I'll show you. So what you would do in a situation like this is, you force the hand to stay down on the table as such, and you press into the table. So that's weight bearing that you're pressing into the table. So while I'm doing this exercise, I wouldn't have to think about what I was doing. I would have press those fingers open, and this weight bearing, let me make sure I'm in the camera, the weight bearing that I'll have is, now I'm pressing my stronger hand on top of it to keep those fingers from curling up. So therefore I could still sit up and do that exercise. And also while I'm doing this, I'm now putting weight bearing in my wrist. So if you're dealing with a lot of tone and spasticity in your wrist, this weight bearing is helping. And then another important thing, even with working these fingers, guys, all of these things come into play when you're trying to get those fingers moving. This elbow, as I'm putting this weight bearing in, I'm locking this elbow out because we want to get this elbow straight. We want to straighten out the elbow. So it's helping us to get flexion and motion in that wrist, as the same with putting that weight bearing in those fingers, for our brain again to understand, hey, these things are supposed to stay open. These things should work together to stay open. So it's different things like that, guys. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things we got to take into play when we want to get movement back in our fingers. So it's great for weight bearing. It's great to take time to separate those fingers, to massage them, to exercise them, to get blood flow in them. All of those things matter. But I definitely want y'all, while y'all laying in bed, before y'all get out of bed, or when y'all go to bed tonight, but definitely in the morning before y'all get out of bed, give y'all some extra time to lay in the bed and actually begin to move that arm. And again, While you're laying in the bed, moving that arm, don't try to get up because your body is a lot more relaxed. You might notice that if you put your arm up over here or even assist to go over your head with your opposite arm, your hand may begin to open up because, again, it's in a relaxed mode and your body does not have to think about fight or flight mode. So it's just a natural reaction for your body to be at more peace and to get those hands open. And while you're doing that, that's when you begin to incorporate more exercises for you. And another one I wanted to leave y'all with before I get out of here is thinking about proprioception and what that proprioception is. So understanding that your affected side may not open up on its own, but when you start to pay attention to it and how you send signals to the brain is, we do a mirroring effect on the opposite side. So if you're thinking about, hey, how do I get this hand open? This was my stroke set. This hand's open like this. So I keep mimicking, boom. Keep mimicking, boom. Keep mimicking things like that. Then I begin to start doing things on this side. And as I'm trying to get this side to do, I'm watching this. So proprioception is connecting with the eyes because we don't have full feeling on the side. So I'm using that proprioception connection to connect with that body part that we have lost the mobility in. So that is helping to send the signals to the brain. And then when I get to moving it, because you may not have full feeling on that side, I want you to look at that because that in itself feeds and fuels the brain to get more movement. So all of those things we got to take in part when we say, how do we get the fingers moving? How do we get our fine motor skills? How do we start doing stuff? Or even not thinking about always the fingers. I just told somebody the other day, and their hand is still fisted like this. I said, go open the cabinet. So naturally, you would want to go open the cabinet with your stronger hand. So even though this hand is fisted, you're like, oh, I can't open the cabinet. Yes, you can. Guess what? Or say, for instance, this is a little heavier. To say, for instance, you said this hand is fisted. I can't pick up a water bottle. I can't put my hands. What you do is, guys, we're going to open those fingers up. So the thing is, we think about the bigger picture. Say, hey, my hand is fisted. I can't pick up anything. But even if we only get a couple fingers open, because in reality, let's think about this. We don't have to have all these hands open to pick this up. We could pick them up like this, or we could do stuff like this. So say, for instance, I got a tight fisted hand. I didn't open all these fingers to pick this up. I'm just using these two fingers right here. So we think, we look at it wrong to say, hey, these fingers aren't working. I can't do anything with it. But guess what? I may be able to get these two fingers relaxed. And now I'm getting these two fingers relaxed. I'm going to put it around here. And I'm doing this right here. And all these fingers are still closed. And then at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help assist it. I'm assisting it with, now what's happening is I am sending signals to the brain, understanding that this is that affected hand and my finger still may not be moving and still tight fisted. So now I'm sending signals to the brain and it's helping it. So now I'm adding weight training to that affected side, weight strengthening. And what that does is now we're tricking the brain with the hand, that affected hand that doesn't work, because you begin to do stuff like pick it up like you're about to drink or pour things in a glass. So right there, that is giving your body more mobility that we don't think about. Because